For generations, darkness in Burkina Faso has been more than just a nightly occurrence. It has been a constant companion, a heavy blanket draped over the land, stifling progress and dimming hopes. It was more than just the absence of light. It was the absence of opportunity, the absence of advancement, and the absence of a brighter future for its people. The darkness permeated every aspect of life, from the simplest daily tasks to the grandest aspirations. It was a barrier to progress, a symbol of unfulfilled potential, a constant reminder of the limitations imposed by a lack of access to reliable and affordable energy. The children struggled to study, businesses struggled to grow, and healthcare struggled to provide adequate care. But today, June 23, 2025, marks a turning point, a pivotal moment in the nation's history. A new light emerges, pushing back the shadows and promising a brighter tomorrow. It's the steady hum of nuclear energy, a powerful and reliable source of power that will transform Burkina Faso's energy landscape. This isn't just about electricity, it's about empowerment. This is not about flipping a switch, it's about igniting a revolution. It's about rewriting the nation's story, from one of energy poverty to one of energy independence and prosperity. It's about taking control of their destiny and shaping a future filled with possibilities. The decision to embrace atomic energy marks a shift from dependency to ambition, from reliance on others to self-sufficiency and innovation. It's a bold step forward, demonstrating a commitment to progress and a determination to overcome challenges. The coming light will illuminate homes, bringing comfort, security, and the ability to study and work after dark. Schools, providing students with the resources they need to succeed and empowering them to become the leaders of tomorrow, and industries, on Burkinabe terms, fostering economic growth, creating jobs, and driving innovation across the nation. For too long, Africa's development was shaped by what others allowed, by the constraints imposed by external forces and limited resources. Now Burkina Faso chooses its own path, charting a course towards a brighter future, driven by its own vision and determination. Leaders sought a partner, not a patron, a collaborator who would respect their sovereignty and support their aspirations. And a permanent solution, not a temporary fix, a sustainable energy source that would power their nation for generations to come. The reactors will be a beacon, signaling a new power dynamic rooted in sovereignty, resilience, and a commitment to self-determination. This is a direct challenge to old narratives of African helplessness, a powerful statement that African nations are capable of shaping their own destinies and achieving their own goals. The light that will soon fill Burkina Faso is the light of a future reclaimed, a future built on innovation, sustainability, and the unwavering spirit of its people. This is the end of imposed darkness and the beginning of a self-determined dawn, a new era of progress, prosperity, and empowerment for Burkina Faso and its people. Before this new era, less than a quarter of Burkinabe had electricity. Rural access was below 5%. This wasn't just inconvenience, it was paralysis. Medical equipment sat idle, vaccines spoiled, and preventable deaths mounted. Education suffered. Students couldn't study after dark, and schools couldn't teach modern skills. The digital divide was a chasm, carved by the absence of power. Businesses struggled with blackouts, forced to rely on costly polluting generators. Industrial growth was stifled before it could begin. The lack of energy deepened inequality and limited opportunity. Progress was something that happened elsewhere. Darkness was not just the absence of light, it was the absence of hope. For decades, foreign aid arrived as solar projects, celebrated as green solutions. But these initiatives, designed and managed externally, failed to deliver real change. They provided just enough power for a few bulbs, never enough for factories or hospitals. When equipment broke, spare parts and expertise had to be imported, deepening dependency. Solar aid offered a veneer of progress, not true energy sovereignty. IMF-backed programs prioritized debt over investment, keeping the grid weak. The message, a little light, but never enough to compete. The scattered solar panels became monuments to a flawed model. Burkinabe grew tired of waiting for solutions that kept them in the dark. The turning point, the moment when aspirations solidified into tangible plans, came in St. Petersburg. It was a location deliberately chosen, a statement in itself. not a Western capital steeped in the history of colonial influence and perceived conditional aid. This was a fresh start, a departure from the well-trodden paths of the past. At the Russia-Africa Summit, amidst the bustling activity and diplomatic exchanges, Burkina Faso's leaders sought a partner, not just for assistance, but for a fundamental, real transformation of their nation. They were looking beyond short-term solutions. For real transformation, a deep-seated change that would ripple through their economy, their society, and their future prospects. They needed a partner who understood their vision. They found it in Russia's Rosatom, the state nuclear energy corporation, culminating in the signing of a groundbreaking agreement that promised to reshape Burkina Faso's energy landscape. This was not charity, a handout with strings attached, but a strategic partnership built on mutual respect and shared goals, aimed at providing reliable, round-the-clock power to fuel Burkina Faso's growth. The deal included not just the construction of a nuclear power plant, but also technology transfer, comprehensive training programs for Burkinabe engineers and technicians, and a detailed blueprint for establishing a self-sustaining nuclear industry, empowering the nation to manage its own energy future. For the first time, Burkina Faso would gain not just a stable and abundant source of electricity, but also high-skilled jobs in a cutting-edge industry, fostering scientific prestige and attracting talent to the nation. The handshake with Russia, captured in photographs and etched in history, marked a conscious break from the perceived constraints of post-colonial relationships. It was a pragmatic choice, driven by the desire for true sovereignty, achieved through energy independence and control over their own resources. The St. Petersburg Pact, formalized with signatures and sealed with commitment, turned conviction into concrete action. It set the stage for a new industrial dawn, a future powered by innovation and self-reliance. Burkina Faso was ready to enter the atomic age, not as a passive recipient, but as an active participant. Burkina Faso stands at the cusp of an energy revolution, a transformation powered by innovation and a commitment to a sustainable future. At the heart of this transformation are small modular reactors, or SMRs. These aren't your typical large-scale nuclear plants. They represent a paradigm shift in how we approach nuclear energy. SMRs are compact, scalable, and designed for deployment in a variety of settings. Their modular design allows for easier manufacturing, transportation, and installation, reducing construction time and costs. This scalability means that energy production can be adjusted to meet the specific needs of a community or region. This makes them an ideal solution for Burkina Faso's unique energy challenges and development goals. The adaptability of SMRs perfectly aligns with the nation's diverse energy requirements. SMRs can be added incrementally as demand grows, making them not only flexible, but also financially responsible and affordable. This phased approach to energy infrastructure development allows for careful planning and resource allocation, ensuring that investments are aligned with actual needs. Advanced safety features are paramount in SMR design, building public confidence and working to demystify nuclear power. These features include passive safety systems that rely on natural forces like gravity and convection to prevent accidents, reducing the need for human intervention. Unlike intermittent renewable sources like solar or wind, SMRs provide continuous, carbon-free baseload power, ensuring a stable and reliable energy supply regardless of weather conditions. This consistent energy source is crucial for supporting economic growth and improving the quality of life for all citizens. This reliability is absolutely essential for critical infrastructure such as industry, hospitals, and essential public services. A dependable power supply ensures that these vital sectors can operate without interruption, supporting economic stability and public health. For the first time, Burkina Faso will have a source of power it can truly count on, providing electricity day and night, powering homes, businesses, and communities across the nation. This reliable energy access will unlock new opportunities for development and progress. The construction and operation of SMRs will create thousands of skilled jobs, providing valuable employment opportunities and launching a new, high-tech sector in the economy. This will stimulate economic growth and create a more diversified and resilient workforce. Rosatom's comprehensive training programs ensure these jobs are not just temporary positions, but lasting careers with opportunities for professional growth and advancement. This investment in human capital will create a skilled workforce capable of supporting the long-term operation and maintenance of the SMR facilities. As reactors come online and begin generating electricity, they'll unlock the nation's full potential, driving economic growth, improving living standards, and fostering innovation across all sectors. These SMRs are more than just power plants. They are engines of progress, delivering long-sought energy independence and paving the way for a brighter future for Burkina Faso. They represent a commitment to sustainable development and a vision for a prosperous and resilient nation. This nuclear deal is more than electricity. It's a declaration of sovereignty. For decades, development was dictated by external actors and conditional aid. Partnering with Russia, Burkina Faso asserts its right to choose its own path. The agreement is a commercial transaction, not a plea for help. Control over energy is the ultimate expression of self-determination. Factories and hospitals will run on national needs, not foreign agendas. This is sovereignty measured in megawatts, a practical freedom for every citizen. It marks the end of tutelage and the start of true independence. The Russia-Burkina Faso nuclear deal sent shockwaves through global power centers. In Paris, it was seen as a direct challenge to France's influence in West Africa. Washington responded with skepticism, worried about losing control. Moscow and BRICS allies celebrated a strategic victory and a shift toward multipolarity. The project became a flashpoint in the competition for Africa's future. For Burkina Faso, geopolitics are secondary. The focus is on serving its people. The nation is now a player on the global chessboard, making moves for its own development, the goal to finally win its own future. Continuous nuclear power will revolutionize daily life in Burkina Faso. Hospitals will have reliable electricity, saving lives and improving care. Schools can offer digital learning and longer study hours, unlocking student potential. Factories will run efficiently, boosting productivity and competitiveness. Modern irrigation will transform agriculture and ensure food security. Electric railways can connect the country to new trade routes. Streets will be safer, businesses will thrive, and quality of life will rise. These are not distant dreams. They're tangible changes for every household. The steady hum of the grid will be the soundtrack of a nation on the move. Burkina Faso's leap into nuclear power is part of a continent-wide awakening. Across Africa, nations are turning to nuclear energy for reliable, transformative power. Burkina Faso's project is a beacon, showing what's possible when ambition replaces dependency. Industrialization demands baseload power. Renewables alone aren't enough. As more African nations go nuclear, they gain strategic weight and independence. This is a story of freedom from darkness and low expectations. By acting boldly, Burkina Faso has ignited hope for the continent. It's a historic choice: to build, to lead, and to claim a sovereign future. This is Insight Africa, where the blueprint of freedom is drawn by African hands.